So welcome back guys to another video, and today I'm doing a review on Tamashii. Tamashii is a horror puzzle platformer. It was developed by a small team in Brazil called Vikintor. I hope I'm saying that right, but it was developed by them and it was published by Digerati, which I have to give a big shout and a huge thank you for sending a review copy to the studio. And it's already out on Steam, but it's going to be out very soon on all consoleized platforms. I'm actually going to be talking about the port on the Nintendo Switch that's available on Christmas Day. What a Christmas present this game will be, I will say that. But wow, this game's really interesting. First, let's talk about the story. The story itself is very straightforward in the sense that there's a deity god, and you're his son. You're playing as this unnamed child, and it's your job to cleanse the temple from all of its negativity and darkness, which, judging from the art style of this game, something tells me this temple wasn't always sunshines, butterflies, and puppies to begin with, because the game really does have that horror, kind of macabre, perverse, H.P. Lovecraft kind of look to it. Now, when it comes to controls, it is a platformer through and through. You're not going to be having a whole lot of action. If you're thinking that you're going to hack and slash or maybe have a gun or something like that, you're going to be very disappointed. It's very heavy into the puzzle platforming elements, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I really did enjoy that. You have, your basic movements, you have your jump, your double jump, and you also have an ability that you can create a statue-like double ganger that you can use to progress throughout the puzzles. You can drop your little statue down and go through a certain switch or certain block, but it has a time limit. Once that time limit's over, that statue will explode. Now, I'm not sure about the Steam version, but I know the consoleized versions added a slow motion feature to assist players, which I admit I did use because some of these puzzles are very cryptic and very, interesting, I should say. They're very interesting, and once you crack the code and once you figure out that puzzle, it gives you this instant gratification. And I did like the fact that the game has its difficulty to it, but like Super Meat Boy or say Hotline Miami, once you die, you start right back to where you were. So it's not like going back through a bunch of cutscenes or a certain checkpoint. It's like, boom, you die, here you go, try it again. And it's a lot of trial and error. Now, one of the reasons why I didn't show a whole lot of gameplay footage of this game is because there are some very perverse kind of imagery to this game. It's a very mature rated game, and I don't know how YouTube is about these things, but there are parts of boss battles that there are sides of the boss I wish I didn't see. I will say that. And I haven't played a game this disturbing. I will admit, I haven't played a game this disturbing since Eternal Darkness on the GameCube. There are parts in the game that has its jump scares that are very tastefully done, where I would just be walking and all of a sudden it'd be a flash and a bloody face would be looking at me with screams in the background. The game has a very atmospheric, ambient kind of soundtrack to it. I feel like they really captured the unsettling horror element without trying too hard, which is really, really difficult in today's media. Overall, the game isn't that long. Once you figure out all the puzzles, once you kind of just break everything down and you go through the temple and you unlock various shrines, the game could take you around like 3 hours, and for a price tag of $11.99 on the Nintendo Switch, I do think it's worth it. I really do. I feel like if this is your cup of tea, then you're definitely going to be quenched with the thirst of this horror game. I mean, it's a lot of fun. So to give this game a score, I would definitely give this a 9 out of 10. I feel like they did a fantastic job capturing unsettling, perverse, macabre horror, but at the same time having a very interesting puzzle element that graphically also makes you think of games like Monster Party. This is something I really do recommend, and I hope it's not a sleeping hitter because people definitely need to try this game out. But anyway guys, that's my review of Tamashii. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to not only subscribe, but hit the bell for notifications so you're notified whenever there's weekly content coming out on this channel. And hey, if you like podcasts, be sure to check out XS Gaming Podcast with my good friend James Gruesome. We talk about modern and retro topics on the podcast. And if you like nerd culture, check out Blast Podcasting I do with my friend Anthony, Magnus X1. And we talk about everything from Star Wars to anime to video games to just superheroes, all sorts of good stuff. But be sure to check that out. Anyway, guys, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, happy gaming.